How's it going, YouTube? Oxa here, and welcome back. So, as promised, today I'll be reviewing Gamera 2. Attack of Legion. And yeah, it's a good one. I mean, hey, right off the bat, I recommend it. It's fantastic, great film, and yeah. So I guess we'll get into a little plot overview, and then of course I'll go into my pros and cons, what I liked and disliked about the film. So, sadly, not all characters return for this film, like Dr. Kusanagi, Dr. Nagamine, the Navy guy, they nowhere to be seen. Well, here, Kusanagi gets mentioned, but we'll get into it. But yeah, sad to see Nagamine not come back. I thought she was really good, interesting lead, and I don't know, I guess it's a shame. She could have done more. Now, hey, maybe she comes back in the third one. Again, I haven't seen these before, so I mean, we'll just leave it at that, right? But we have new leads, so essentially to replace the Navy guy, we'll call him, you have Colonel Watarase. Sorry if I butcher these names, of course, Japanese is not my native language. And he's essentially our military guy for the film. And our new female lead is Midori Honami, who's a teacher. And, there are the cop. I guess he was like an inspector with Dr. Nagamine. He returns. Osako found out his name finally. Funny enough, he doesn't have a last name listed, so I guess they just mentioned his name one time. But he returns. It's just a cameo. The guy's only in it for 5 minutes. When he is scared of essentially, I guess I'll get into him. Just get him out the way. He was a cop, but in a nice, they tie it in. He quit his job after the whole Gaios incident, and he's a security guard now for some warehouse. But essentially, he's one of the first people that sees Legion, our new big bad, right? He sees legions, the little, which are aliens. He sees the little form, right? I guess I'll call it the larva. He witnesses it and then runs away, and that's about it. He's not in the film again after that. And Asagi Kusanagi, of course, the daughter of the doctor, she returns. She was the one with the psychic connection to Gamera. She is back, but also she takes more of a back seat. She appears not around halfway, maybe slightly before, but you get it. She appears later in the film. But hey, she is there. When she's there, she is inserted till the end. But yeah, we got new characters, and so the story picks up essentially with our teacher Honame, and essentially she's with her class is on a field trip, right? It's a science thing. They're watching a meteor shower, and they're just on the news. There's warnings of the meteors are coming down and stuff, and of course some land on Earth, and of course unknown to our cast of characters, the meteors are how Legion, our new big bad, gets to Earth. And Legion, I guess best way to describe him is the Gamera universe's version of Destroya. He's the same, where it's well, okay, not exactly the same, but there's a bunch of little, we'll call it Legion, little ones, and then there is a queen, a big one. Well, actually, not thinking about it, he's pretty similar to Gaios, just that Gaios is how there was the three, and then one grew to become the super one. Here, all we see are the little, an army, a swarm of the little ones, and then a queen. But she kind of appears out of nowhere. We're never really introduced to this specific, insect, the specific alien is the queen. And she just appears. But anyways, the aliens land. The government is trying to find these meteors, but they're mysteriously disappearing. And yeah, there's all throughout Japan, there's being attacks of essentially the aliens feed on electromagnetic energy. And they're just attacking different points, and similar to Gaios, there's like three parts, three big fights, if you will, with Gamera. You have first the city of Sapporo, where the Legion sets up a nest, right? Like a hive, and essentially it's established that the creatures are like giving off oxygen, but so obviously we breathe oxygen, but it's like O4, so like just pure oxygen, which is poisonous to us, because if you know, our atmosphere is made up of different gases. But anyways, they're essentially terraforming the earth, right, to make it habitable for them. And Gamera comes, we get the big intro, our flying turtle. And he attacks the nest at Sapporo successfully. He uproots it, destroys it, But he is attacked by the Legion. The swarm gets all over him. It's a pretty nice visual where, like, Gamera's covered up. And again, he's able to thwart, like, this is the first round, if you will. And he goes back into the ocean thinking it's been done. And then meanwhile, the Legion is out there. This is where Osako came in, where, he saw one, right? Because, but prior, it was, like, everyone, they were, like, in the shadows. No one saw them. And then they find some dead samples, after Gamera, does a spin attack and, some die. Doctors, there's a minor character, Obitsu, who's, a friend of Honami, and he's on the team that find out that these creatures are, they don't have joints, traditional, they're, gas. It's, pressure. Once you cut them, air is released, and that is what they release to, terraform the earth. And that's where they also find out that they're attracted to, the electromagnetic things, and that they've attacked humans, like a train and stuff, but they only really do it to people with that. There's scenes in the film where we get, the vision of Legion, and it's similar like Predator. And it's people, let's say they have their phone, something that gives off a frequency. It's lit up, or the focus, right? And that's why they attack them. It's that's what they're attracted to. And yeah, so they set up another, we'll call it hive, at Sendai. And this is where the queen emerges. Again, it was kind of out of nowhere. They never really mentioned it. There was no oh, there must be a queen. And yeah, a queen emerges, a big one. And again, just the suit, let me remind you, there is a guy in that suit, because you look at this creature and you think, oh, okay, that's an animatronic, right? Like Jurassic Park, it's just a big robot. No, that's a suit. And that's what I'm saying. The effects, the practical effects in this film are just outstanding, just fantastic. There's shots that are just they look real, they look believable, and that's what I just love to see. Again, this is why the Gamera the Heisei trilogy is regarded as some of the best in tokusatsu, big kaiju suitmation films. It's they're some of the best, and I would agree. And yeah, so the hive is set up in Sendai. We get our first Gamera fights Legion, the queen, right? So we get our big one-on-one. Legion does kind of give it to Gamera. I say she because they say queen, so the gender, it's not stated, but she gives it to him. She really beats him down, even leaves him for dead. They got, again, great effects where Gamera bleeds, or he's all cut up and stuff. And yeah, it's just it's fantastic. And then he's left for dead. We think our hero is dead. And again, this is where, like I said, Asagi gets reintroduced, that because she was the one with the connection to Gamera because of the little charm, the orichalcum, something like that. It's what it's made of, right? And it's the little pendant. It looks like half of the yin yang. She still has it, and throughout the fight with Legion, she holds on it and will say oh, Gamera protect us or things like that, and it seems like he reacts to her. But again, he's defeated, and Legion moves off to Tokyo because the military picked up that Legion is only going after like big cities because again, that's where all the like the frequency, what it's looking for is at. So, and the final, battle, if you will, the final nest is at Tokyo. And again, everyone thinks Gamera's dead, so the military is like essentially sending out like they're all out, like they're just giving it their all to like a final attack because Gamera's thought to be dead. So Asagi and then Honami, right, the teacher, she finds Asagi and, is like, oh, you're the one that can talk to Gamera, and I guess it's some weird, like, it's hard to explain, but so with her pendant, she does the thing where like she talks to him, right, or like holds it, and you think it's like, okay, so it'll be like the last film where they'll have the bond where if Gamera gets hurt, she'll get hurt, but not necessarily. He is revived from like, I guess, like there's like all these kids crying and stuff because Gamera's, mainly been associated with children, right? Like he's the protector of kids, going back to like the 60s, right? Like the origins of the character. He's revived, but the pendant breaks, essentially, like it's like implying that the bond is like gone, right? And I mean, we'll see what happens in the third one, like if they're still connected. But Gamera is reanimated, powered up, and he goes to fight Legion. And again, I just can't say it enough. The effects are just top notch, and we have our big final battle. Gamera wins, of course, and he looks at like the hero at the humans and goes off into the sea. And the film ends with, of course, with all kaiju films, it's like an environmental message where you see like the characters walking and they ask like, oh, Gamera is like here to protect the earth, right? And then it's like, so what will happen because how humans are polluting it, we're destroying it. It's like, will he ever turn on us? And then it just ends with a message like that, like, let's hope not, or like, essentially it's like, recycled, go green, right? Like, like we need to do better as humanity to protect the earth. And yeah, that's just a general overview. I mean, of course, it gets into more specific, but yeah, watch the film, But, so, pros, like I said, just fantastic, like, practical effects. I think the story is good, like it, despite not having all the like original cast, like I think it's good, like it works for this film. And like I guess what I like is that the characters are like they're not just like dumb, like in a lot of kaiju films are very one dimensional, like they know what they're doing and they can figure it out, like they think rationally, like here's our problem. Here's how we'll solve it. Like, they think. So that's nice to see. Now, cons. There are some. Like I said, the CGI isn't all that great. I mean, like, if you see some of these, like, it's bad. But again, it's a film from 96, so it can be excused on that aspect. And, I mean, what else? I mean, I guess you could say is, like, what? Gamera shows up, like 30, 40 minutes in, but then again, like kaiju films do that. Like, there's not really all that bad. Oh, well, here. A nitpick was like, there are some questionable editing choices. Like, there's just scenes where like, it's like a still image, and like when I was watching it, I thought like my Blu-ray froze, and I'm like, what the heck? But then the sound continued and like, continued, and like I went back to like, rewatch it, like, hey, did the, like, is it this scratch? But no, that's like how the scene is, and it's just like questionable editing choices. But yeah, overall, it's just a great film. If you're a kaiju fan, it's one of the best. And I mean, if you're just like a casual moviegoer, I think it offers something good for you. And like, so what would I rate it? Right, 1 to 10. Well, if you remember the last film, I gave it an 8.5. I think for kaiju fans, it's a must-watch. And for casuals, I think it offers a good story. Like, it'll keep you interested. This one, I just admit, like, it's just, I think it's that much better. So I would give it a rating of 9 out of 10. But yeah, guys, that's just my little review, my take on the film. I think it was a good film and definitely something to check out, you know, if you're casual, interested in kaiju, or if you're a long time fan. I think it's worth the watch. But yeah, guys, let me know what you think, you know. Have you seen these films? Like, are you going to check them out? And yeah, let me know. I mean, and next Tuesday, of course, I will be doing the final, you know, film in the trilogy, Gamera 3, The Revenge of Iris. So look forward to that. And I mean, let's see. I personally think this film was better than the first, and will the third one, you know, be even better than this one? We'll just have to wait and see, guys. But as always, I've been your host, Soxy. You know, stay tuned every Tuesday and Saturday for new videos. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that. And yeah, take care, guys.